Let's get into guys with the running backs now. So this was a position that we talked about, going into this offseason was kind of a spot that we thought could use a little bit of adjustment here. I mean, a little bit. I don't think it needed anything crazy. We went into last year having Devin Singletary, who was going to be the Temu version of Saquon Barkley there, wearing his old jersey number and everything. I think he came off as a little bit of a disappointment, but I don't think he's as much a disappointment as people necessarily thought he was. I think a lot of it was kind of like he wasn't Saquon. Like, does that make sense to a certain degree? Am I crazy? Like he wasn't sick, but he never was going to be.
No, and you know what it is too. Everyone thought like he's got this connection with Buffalo. Like he was good up there. Like there's a reason why he's not at Buffalo anymore. Like there's a reason why he's been on a few different teams. Like he's good. He's just never like that's kind of how he performs, and he just had a worse offensive line. It was all right at the beginning, but kind of fell apart.
Yeah. And the first 3 games, especially, I mean, look at what he did here. I got the numbers up to verify. He had a bad first game, but everybody did against the Vikings, 37 yards, 95 yards against the Commanders, 65 yards against, the Browns there. And then kind of just fell off. But you also saw, inactive and hurt for a couple of games. Then, obviously Tyrone Tracy took over and he lost his entire spot. So we got an echo.
echo.
You got to look at part of that this is his first time as being a true backup. I feel like in his career, basically, not even a split carry. Like he went from getting, a full-time, 15, carries a game basically to getting like multiple times he had 2 or 3. So I think we got to give him a little bit of a pass to a certain degree on that. And understand that he's got to be a backup now. He's not going to be the guy who's going to get 1,000 yards, on a season like he did in the past with Houston or with Buffalo. And I mean, total yards. I don't think he ever hit 1,000 yards rushing in a season.
No,
total yards. Kind of like a season just like Tyrone Tracy Jr. had, ironically enough. But, Tracy, we've said it before. The big thing with Tracy is he was missing the first couple of games. Then all of a sudden, he was hurt also the last couple of games. He did a lot of his damage in like 2/3 of the season, I feel like, basically.
Yeah, just about because it was game 5 when he came out.
Game 5 is I think when he started getting everything rolling, really.
That's what I'm saying.
And then like again, he was hurt the last couple of weeks as well. So it's like, he still had 839 yards. He basically would have been a guy with probably 1,100 yards if he actually was on the whole season and had no health issues. Again, the queen had ball should be the king. There's always these things here.
Well, it's why there's a king in place.
Anyway, he had 29 yards the first 4 weeks, guys. That's it. That's absolutely insanity if you think about it. I mean, like, then goes for 129 yards, 50, 23, 145, 66, 103, 43. I mean, this is a guy that, again, I really think that if we give him a full season as the workhorse back, he'd be a guy that's going to go ahead and get 1,100 yards. I don't think it's crazy. I really don't. Again, you got to keep him healthy. That's part of it. And he's a guy that I really think, again, in that kind of situation, can get another 400 yards receiving. This guy could be a 1,500 total yard guy. I don't think that's crazy to say. I would have said you're nuts if you had said last year when he got drafted. But I don't think it's nuts to say it now. No. So, and then, of course, now you also got our new running back, Cameron Skattebo. And listen, this is the perfect compliment to Tracy. This is what Rob and I have been asking for all offseason, a power back. I can't tell you how many times we said in the show, we need a power back. 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 Guess what we got?
A power
back. So, yeah, now we have one. And Skattebo, who's like literally probably the best pure power back that was in this draft. And it's funny because he's 5'10". He's not that big a guy. But he runs like a guy on a mission, like a guy that's pissed off. That's the kind of attitude we needed behind this line here. Again, I feel like it has not been stated enough this offseason that we lost this offseason here our short yardage back. Our guy that we put on the line when it was 3rd and 1. Our guy we put on the line when it was 4th and 1. When it was, at the goal line. And you know what that was? Daniel freaking Jones. As scary as that sounds, when the game was on the line and we needed a yard, who do you think the Giants would have put there to run the ball? It would have been Daniel Jones because he was that guy. Himself. So now we got the guy who replaces Daniel Jones in a running back, which is weird to say. But he that's what he's doing. He's basically doing that. And he could be more. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you look at what he does, and I don't know what to expect out of this kid. I really don't. There's a lot of variables. How many carries does he get? Did they kind of bring him along slowly since they got Singletary and Tracy and just use him as purely a short yardage back and that's it, a goal line back? Do they start splitting carries 3 ways and just see who gets, the most, the most traction out of those carries? Or do they put Singletary as the 3rd back overall? I mean, there's so many different options, guys.
We have options. I think it's going to be week to week kind of decision, depending on injury, depending on who they're playing, how they're off the defensive line of the team is. I think there's going to be a lot.
Yeah, and you just don't know. And then beyond that, of course, you got Eric Gray, who's just a waste of a roster spot. I'm sorry, I'm just calling it like it is. I've said it forever. We've said it, I think, since we drafted him. I think the one time we backed off was week 1 of last year in the preseason because he looked good against the Lions.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the only one. But yeah, it's an issue. He needs to go. We've said it before. Joe Schoen literally, and I will harp on this till he's gone from this roster. Joe Schoen literally said in a press conference, we lost people we had in front of him and that could return kicks. That's why they got him. It was a horrible draft. Horrible pick. And that's one of the biggest issues I had with Joe Schoen is some of these draft picks that he makes that just make no sense whatsoever, that he's all shocked, but they don't pan out. Eric Gray was never going to be good, guys. I'm sorry. He never was. There wasn't a single thing that we saw leading up to it. We're like, oh, this guy's got to make our top list. We did 20 running backs that year?
Something like that.
And we didn't include him.
Yeah.
That's where he is. He's just not a good player. I don't want to harp on it, be mean about it. He just needs to go play to the UFL where he belongs. And then, of course, you got a guy near and dear to Rob and mine's heart, Dante Turbo Miller.
It's turbo time. Huh?
It is turbo time. So another guy that I didn't think got a fair shake necessarily last year to a certain degree. We never got a chance to see him play. I would have loved if they moved him up the last couple of weeks and see what we got. But yeah, it's just for whatever reason they decided against doing it, and it was a missed opportunity in our eyes. We said that with the last couple of weeks when they didn't play him. Would have loved to see him, but here's a kid who literally could have been the most athletic running back in the draft in 24. Had he been able to go in the draft and not actually technically be a free agent because no one realized he was draftable in 2023. Such a weird scenario. If you don't remember what's going on, just search our channel, search Turbo Miller, and it'll pop up the story behind him and everything's crazy story. But I'm rooting for the kid. I just don't know if there's a spot for him. I mean, think about it. Tracy's not going to miss the roster. I think that's very safe to say. Skattebo's not going to miss the roster. That's very safe to say. The only way that Turbo Miller has even a shot in hell of making this roster is beating out Devin Singletary. I don't think that's possible. I think it'd be a disrespect to a solid veteran guy like Devin Singletary to even sit there and suggest that Turbo Miller, who's never even had one NFL rush in his entire career, could go ahead and beat him out for a roster.
Yeah.
So
either that or injury.
I mean, that's the other thing. Injury is a possibility. Injury is legit a possibility. Listen, it's the Giants. We have injured players every year like crazy.
Lots of them.
So, what I can see is one of two scenarios, I think, for Turbo. either practice squad again, or it comes up because of an injury, like you said. I think that's the two scenarios we got. So to me, it's going to be Tracy, Singletary, Skattebo. Eric Wright gets cut, and Turbo Miller goes into the practice squad there. Now, maybe they keep Gray around for his special teams kick returning abilities, but I think we all know that's a load of poop.
A lot of poop. Not a little poop.
That's a lot of poop. That's a lot of poop there. So,
one big pile of poop.
Oh, yes.
Hope you wash your hands.
Explains the fumbling. Oh, who said it? What?
Yeah. I get it. You just have poop on your hands.
That's the problem. Poop hands. Anyway, so I was going to see just that 1 minute. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Why does anybody listen to this show?
Because they're talking about fecal matter.
Exactly. Damn straight. But you come for the football talk, you stay for the fecal matter.
Yeah.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please